I'm happy to host the talk for today. And let me briefly about the session. And also very welcome Ilaria, Penglong, Kanha, and Onno spending the time with us and helping complement this talk show into the World Teacher Day that the government has celebrate before this day on 5th. So this is based on our experience in the previous talk that we like that a lot of audience engage and teach to our page, and they put a lot of comment and opinion on our talk. That previously we talked about the power and potential of the education network, while during the workshop that we are trying to build the perspective of education leader that called Education Leader Summit in Baltimore. At the time, we was also involved Excellency Sudhir, the DG of Director General of the Policy. The show at the time running very well, and then the experience from that we want to build further, and we wish to record on some particular issue that would help us to understand more, and also let our audience learn from the talk. So before we start, I would like to introduce briefly on the panelists. For today, we have Mr. Penglong, who is currently as the Director of Teacher Training Department. Mr. Penglong has a very long-standing experience teaching teaching in the school, and as well as experience as a teacher trainer at the NIE, and who also had experience to coach and facilitate the outstanding teacher training to compete in the world. Later, he also became to be head of planning and management department of the NIE. So by 2016, up to now, he began to be the director of the teacher training department. So on the top of how to make sure the teacher equipped with the proper quality. So, second member in the talk today, I will introduce Nep Cambodia. Nep Cambodia currently teaching at the new generation school, Sisubat. Nep teach on the Khmer literature. Yeah, on the subject of the Khmer literature. Nep also have counsel the pedagogy training at the NIE before and during her earlier career for the teacher. So Nep right now working with a very good experience as a teacher, facilitate the teaching and learning at the new generation school that the government recognized as a role model that other schools should also follow. Thank you, Nep Cambodia. And I also introduce Ilaria Vanzin, who is currently working for the UNESCO in Phnom Penh as a program manager to strengthen the teacher education program in Cambodia. That's funded by the GPD and the UNESCO. Ilaria has been working in the field of education since 2006 in Africa, MoEYS, Central and Southeast. Thank you, Ilaria, being with us for today. Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon again. And Onno, yeah, yes, Onno. Onno currently play as a program development partnership advisor, which is focusing on inclusive education, social inclusion, and gender and also the social accountability for the VSO. VSO stands for Volunteer Service for Overseas. That's right. Yeah. Onno also have a lot of experience teaching in the school, and especially in the northwestern part of Cambodia, a very remote province, working as coaching and mentoring to the teacher, school director, and other education staff. In 2015, he has become a BSO education program manager in Cambodia, overseeing education project planning, teacher project planning, teacher training, planning and management, research, policy influence, and curriculum development. This is that experience by Onno since 2015. Onno also started working with coffee in Laos in 2017, provided technical assistance to Laos Ministry of Education and Sport in revamping the primary education curriculum and teaching and learning material. After working in Laos, Onno returned to his base with the VSO in Cambodia in his current capacity as a program development and partnership advisor. Thank Onno for being with us today. So, let me start with some questions. First, by putting the personal question to all of the guests, I would like to also stress on somehow relating to what happened in Cambodia, relating to the teacher situation. And I may first start with Ilaria. Can I correctly call you Ilaria?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. You represent UNESCO. Everyone knows the important role of UNESCO has in improving education quality everywhere in the world. What, according to you, are the global trends in teaching profession over the new millennium? And what have been the lesson learned, which is better for education NGO, the government, to keep in mind while planning their intervention and policy respectively?
Thank you, Mr. Seng, for your question. Thank you for inviting UNESCO today to attend. It's a very beautiful occasion to discuss about teachers and to celebrate the International Teacher Day. So I think generally there is a very pressing urgency to substantially increase the number of qualified teachers around the world. Because teachers are one of the essential means to meet the outcome targets of the Sustainable Development Goal, number 4. So, according to UNESCO Institute of Statistics, in the world there is need for almost 64 million qualified teachers to meet the 2030 agenda, which is the roadmap to the SDG4. And as you know, when there is such gap, those who suffer the most are those living in marginalized and a very poor community, and maybe also those living in remote areas across the globe. So the question is, how are we going to address this? And this define the trends, or some of the trends. So in late 2018, UNESCO International Institutes for Education and Planning has published a report, Global Status of Teachers and Teaching Profession, which has identified some of the most pressing trends and policy priorities, which have been also reiterated today by UNESCO Director General in Paris in the occasion of the celebration of International Teacher Day. So we think that in order to address this gap of teachers, qualified teachers around the globe, one of the most important actions is to make sure teaching profession become an attractive profession, a profession well respected, a career choice. Some young people, young graduates, decide to become teachers because there is ambition, because it's an attractive profession, globally and locally. So how to do that? Well, the challenge is not only to attract, but also to retain, and to train, and to motivate the brightest mind, to bring them in the classroom and to teach to the 21st century students. And this passes through creating competitive working conditions, salaries is an example, but also give stability to the profession. Nowadays around the world, incentives to motivate the teachers. Stability and salaries are two factors. Government should invest in the creation of clear career teacher pathway, which are well aligned and go hand in hand with continuous professional development policies and frameworks, in order that teachers, when they enter the profession, they know very well which is their career path, their profession, how lifelong learning is going to be secured during their career. And I think other two factors are important. The first is to have clear teaching standards. Still, nowadays, sometimes there are teaching standards across the globe, but different countries adopt their own teaching standards, but sometimes they are not respected all the time because of the lack of teachers. But this still undermine the possibility to attract the most brightest mind, and at the same time, to how to make sure teachers take that advantage of the new technologies, so and to include them in their teaching. Lesson learned, I think, I believe data still play a key role. Good data, availability to good data, and availability to good data analysis, both when it comes to EMIS, but also to teacher management information, in order to do policy, to develop policies, to implement the policies. We need to know which is the situation in the field of teachers and students. And I think joint programming and planning is very important across the development partner, but ensuring that the Minister of Education has leadership and has the ownership of any action. And we all need to work together to make sure that happens. And I think the last point is to develop new policies. Beside the global trends, each country should understand which are the local needs, to respond to those local needs, and to come out with solutions which are feasible and the context relevant, in order to be able to translate policy, not to stay on the shelf, as the Minister of Education in Cambodia always repeat. We don't want the policy to put on our bookshelf. We want the policy that is possible to translate into action, to change impact in the community. So I think this is very important.
Thank you, Ilaria. Okay, yeah. So meaning that during this, as recently celebrating the World Teacher Day, the government already putting the term like teacher in the digital era.
Yes.
So you also mentioned that the IT, the IT part will also play important role to address some issue on the teacher capacity.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So then I'm going to another question that can be like one of my colleagues are already talking relating to the share with me about the beautiful yet tragic analogy with go like children in 21st century are being taught by the teacher in the 20th century using the curriculum and teaching method of the 19th century. This is always making some discussion, while being in the setup of the 18th century. Now, that as a funny, as an analogy, as it is tragic. So Mr. Onno, being a representative of the world-renowned international organization WIDIS, believe in the spirit of volunteering, accountability, inclusively. How do you see the role of the convention teaching practice and importance of the training teacher, the teacher? And do you think that our teachers are well prepared to facilitate the learning of the 21st century classroom?
Thank you, Mr. Hong, for this opportunity to talk about teachers and teacher reform. I think it's a great forum to have this dialogue. Those are very interesting questions about teacher training and about the conventional way of teaching, and whether teachers are prepared to teach the new generation of students. Well, I see teachers as professionals, and as such, as professionals, society can have high expectations of teachers, as with any other professionals. And teachers, as professionals, can also be held to account for the delivery of good quality and inclusive education services. That also means that teachers can be expected to understand and address individual learning needs, inclusive. It also means to ensure that learning outcomes are relevant by bringing the world into the classroom, bringing the classroom into the world. It may, in some cases, also require moving away from conventional ways of teaching into more effective teaching and learning methods. So yes, I think we can have all those expectations from teachers. But at the same time, that goes both ways. So teachers can also expect support in terms of good quality teaching and learning materials, a good and relevant curriculum that supports the teaching of life skills and bringing the classroom into the world, bringing the world into the classroom. And also, teachers can expect opportunities for continuous professional development. And those opportunities can take place in the form of courses or opportunities for self-learning, but also in the form of peer support, where teachers are enabled to support one another. So yes, on the one hand, I think we can have all these expectations from teachers because they are professionals and we can hold them to account. But in return, teachers can also expect the appropriate support to do all these things.
Okay, so even though we provide a very good training to the teacher, but when we expect the quality of teaching and learning outcome from what teacher can do in the school, teacher also need the support from the system. So yeah, in terms of curriculum, in terms of teaching and learning material, and also maybe in-service capacity development, continuous capacity professional development. So this is would be a big role of government to do this. Okay, so may I turn the question to Bob now. While the world is celebrating the Teacher Day, and the government of Cambodia under the new leadership in Cambodia in education has shown immense commitments toward improving the quality of education. Would you like to tell our viewer in the Facebook currently, they may see our live show about some of the amazing reform regarding to the teacher training and the quality? So we know the term.
Thank you for the question. As you know, over the last 6 years, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport have introduced a number of reforms for improvement of educational quality in Cambodia. The Ministry has created 5 pillars of educational reform. 1. Teacher reform. 2. Inspection system reform, student assessment reform, curriculum reform, and the last one, higher education reforms. It is important for me to stress that the ministry has set the teacher reform as the first priority to improve educational quality through the country. In addition, to ensure the quality teacher training, the ministry has promoted the close collaboration among the effectiveness in educational reform. In this regard, the 3 levels of policy, teacher training center and school. We check like a loop. First, Ministry of Education has formulated create a policy and strengthening the quality of teacher training center and also strengthening the space management. Based on that, we can have best practices to reform our to improve the quality of teacher training centers. Due to the time limit, would like I summarize some of the missing reform regarding teacher training and quality as follows. Regarding precept, the MoEYS has transformed teacher training center into teacher education college. So far, we have been to EEC, one in Phnom Penh and another one in Batam province. Importantly, teacher trainers in the college has been recruited from the pool of master and PhD holder with relevant specialization and extensive teaching experience. MoEYS have upgraded teacher training system through the revision of preset curriculum in the form of creating Bachelor of Education 12+4 for grade 12 graduate to become basic and primary education teachers. This is to respond to the Cambodian qualification framework. The Bachelor of Education program has been piloted at the 2EC, 2 Teacher Education College with the support from higher education institutions since 2018. The ministry have revised existing teacher training curriculum, both preset and inset, to be a credit-based curriculum in order to respond to Cambodian qualification framework. MoEYS has developed school-based management program for potential school principal at NIE institution of education. Regarding preset, the ministry has been upgrading RTTC, upgrading 56 RTTC trainer to be master holders. And this is also have upgrading the teacher at lower secondary school, we call basic education teachers, to be BA holders to 2,200 at IUPP. And also we have developed the program for fast track. It means we upgrade the qualification from basic education teacher to be upper secondary school teacher education, 2,700 at NIE. And recently, we also developed MA program, BA program for our trainer at PPTC. Now we recruit from those PPTC 68 trainers. And the ministry also has been upgrade qualification of primary and school teacher with grade 12 to get basic education teacher at RTTC and DEC, 1,500 a year. In addition, Ministry of Education has recruited 97 national teacher trainers to be further trained on new teaching method and curriculum design in order to support teacher trainers throughout the country. Ministry also have provided insight for school teachers to ensure the quality teaching for students at school level. Teacher trainer at teacher training center are offered opportunity to develop their capacity inside and outside Cambodia. The ministry have developed a professional development framework and action plan, and also apply the career pathway in the next future, in the coming future. Ministry of Education have provided the school principal with training on school-based management on thousands school principal a year.
Yeah, a lot of progress facilitating by the government. This shows a lot of commitment that the government has put, and also in the collaboration with the development partner, that's including UNESCO and other. Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Penglong, for your very comprehensive answer around this question. So, Ms. Kanha, you are as a teacher yourself. What according to you are the incentive and the key challenge for anyone to be a teacher in Cambodia? And what should we do to attract more energetic, passionate, and skillful people like you to teaching profession?
Yes. To me, as a teacher, I think we encourage one to be a teacher. It comes from their passion. Also, their passion, they want to be a teacher. So they set their goal, why they want to be a teacher for themselves, for family, or for their society. So if I can answer this question, so even have any obstacle or whatever, they need to try to complete a dream. And also, we need to support from their family or their parents and friends or people around their society. So now, some people, they looking that teacher can ask him, oh, my teacher is a good sample for me. So I want to be sharing my knowledge to other people like my teacher too. So they have their idol or their sample. So that's right, the easy for them. And also, they need to support from the MoEYS and the government. Government should be support or respond. The salary is not to respond to their living life nowadays. And also, MoEYS like the parent. So they need to arrange the program and everything is good for teacher. And also, to be a teacher is not enough. They need to be challenged because every year many candidates do exam at NIE or TTC center. So it needs to hard for them. So they need to prepare themselves on the main subject. So which subject and what should they do? And also the general knowledge they need to know what is the social going now. It's not in the 20th century, but now we are in 21st century already. And also, they need to be strong about the education system change in the global and local. So they need to prepare themselves as well before they want to be a teacher. So if they have all of this, it's easy for them. And also about on this, in what should we do to attract more innovative, passionate, and skillful people like you to teaching profession? So my answer is all the above quality above. I should say for them to be a teacher, first maintain a good school environment and security. So sometimes school is very important for them. So when they left from school, they left from home, they need to go to school. So school should be maintained every school and like tree and all green like them. And also school every classroom should be have the study material enough for the teacher also. The school should be locate the commune, and also they need to get enough of the electricity. The road from home to the school is safe for them, and also have hospital or internet access. Now life is changing, not the same before. So everyone needs to search or research or something is so easy for them. And also have the market, have camera, have everything is good enough. So the teacher will be changed. So everywhere is good for living. Nowadays, our government is trying hard to do it. Even the rural area or whatever, they will try to complete all very good living for us.
Oh, thank you, Nep for very elaborating in the around this need that teachers should assess, and this is also highlighting like the government should support in such a way that this school should be some of the clean accessibility to water and the security, especially the security also. Thank you. May I go back to Mr. Penglong again? Yeah. I think the teacher salary has recently been one of the biggest positive reform. You did not mention this before, but as we as civil society, we also observe that increasing a lot. Well, it's a different to the teacher in the recent and the future. As we know, the young people are quite curious and open to accountable. At the same time, being passionate and honest. How can we all leverage this quality and desire incentive to attract young people of Cambodia to take up teaching as their first choice of profession?
This is a very important question. Well, basically, you see, education have 5 important steps which has been applied to ensure the good quality through the country. 1. Teacher recruitment. We have clear and careful mechanism to recruit teachers to study at teacher training center. In this year, candidates are required to apply to teach at school in their region, and they have to be accepted by the school principal. Second, strengthening the quality of teacher training. We have upgraded the existing teacher training program 12+2 into Bachelor of Education program 12+4 to enable students to have BA degree upon their graduation. And another one for infrastructures. Article 2 TEC, will equip very nice infrastructure, will finish by October next year. And other teacher training center like RTTC and PTTC, all of them will provide a good building by the government, and also even PTTC will maintain and will equip some material of teaching by GPE project. Yeah, Ilaria also managed on this activity.
Facilitate Ilaria. So,
Teacher development. Even those we strengthen the capacity and quality in the teacher training center, but when they leave to the school, we have developed teachers to work at school with they have applied to be recruited through the competitive examination. This means we also provide some training incentive training program to them to make sure to enhance their capacity direct toward the curriculum, national curriculum that they before. And that's 4. And 5, teacher retention. You know, we have developed teacher career pathway to give the credit to their work and at the same time to retain teachers to work in the system. Recently, Ministry of Education have approved the career pathway framework in order to incentive to our teachers. When we train them, when we provide the training program to them, we have to record and transfer into the number of credit. And we use this credit as the career passport to use in the career pathway for our teachers. So we do this, we expect we can incentive our teacher and we can retain them within our system. We have also designed some incentive to attract young people of Cambodia to take up teaching as their first choice profession. First, I have mentioned earlier, we have upgraded teacher training program into bachelor program. This pave the way for students to pursue their study to master degree or advanced higher upon their graduation. This is a good opportunity for our students to upgrade their qualification. Second, Bachelor of Education curriculum will provide students with knowledge and skill in terms of pedagogy, teaching method, academic knowledge, research, especially ICT and other soft skills, which they will need to live well as a global citizen in the global knowledge-based society in the 21st century. So, newly graduated teachers are given priority to work as teacher at school in their region upon their graduation. Fourth, we have developed continuous professional development framework and clear action plan to enable teachers to develop their capacity, which will be acknowledged in the teaching career pathway. Finally, we also have an excellent teacher and school principal award to motivate teacher and work even hard for better quality. Based on our above effort, we have attracted a lot of young people to apply to be teacher over last 3 years. And the result, in 2016, the quota for selecting the primary, pre-primary, and secondary teacher only 2,500 to 2,600, but applicant 52,337. And 2017, very rapid increase up to 76,476 candidates. And also 2018, also we can attract more and more candidates to apply to be teachers, up to 91,658 candidates. From the figures, we can see we can attract more young people to be teacher. Among these candidates include grade A, grade B, grade C, so on. So far, we never attract grade A to be lower secondary school teacher, we call basic education teacher or primary teacher, but now they apply.
I see.
Yeah. This is the proof.
This is
We
proof.
can attract young people to be teacher,
Especially
and also potential people.
Especially in the last year, showing out this figure. Thank you, Mr. Penglong, for the answer. Let me go back to Mr. Onno in Ilaria. I have a common question for both of you. Do you involve the teacher in planning and designing your organization education investment? And what mechanism should be there to involve teachers in the policy design, discuss and dialogue through the CSO, development partner, and NGO side? And how can NEP, as a member organization, play the role of this? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think generally speaking, UNESCO globally, but in Cambodia, with any available effort to engage stakeholders, any kind of stakeholders, including teachers, CSO, NGO, of course the government without even mentioning it, in all the components, in any program at any stage, from assessment, planning, development, and implementation, and the evaluation, of course, to have some lessons in order for future program. There are different mechanisms. I mean, I think we have a very good examples recently adopted for the development of the continuous professional development framework and action plan as part of the strengthening teacher education program in Cambodia, funded by GP and UNESCO, implemented with the ministry. Teachers have been engaged in the consultative process. After the first draft was developed, the first draft was developed with key ministry stakeholders across departments and other international development partners. And then during different consultative workshops which have been conducted in the provinces, teachers have been invited. And I think was very important because it's the kind of policy document that is going to directly affect the work of teachers on a daily basis, and they provided very valuable input, and I'm very much aware of that because one of my colleagues at UNESCO was facilitating one of the working group discussion in one of these events. And so this is a practical example of how teachers can be involved, but not only this, also we, as part of the STEP program, called early grade reading and math teacher learning material package development. Outstanding teachers are part of the development of the packages, as well as NGOs active in early grade learning are regularly invited to review the material by primary education department. And then during the process of piloting, we regularly ask feedback in order to improve the material until when can be endorsed by the ministry. So these are two examples, good example and best practice of Cambodia, and I think it's very important because the Ministry of Education is very keen to ensure the participative process of teachers and CSO.
Thank you, Ilaria. As audience also posting some question, and I would also encourage the audience, please keep posting your question to our Facebook page live, because we are on live. I will pick up some question and maybe would like to have the panelists to respond some. But before going to that, let's hear from Onno. The same question as Ilaria already mentioned. Can you also from your perspective and experience?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hong. I think those are excellent examples that you just gave. And I think it's very important to involve teachers in any program that is aimed at the professional development of teachers, to make sure that the program is relevant and meets the needs of teachers. So in 2007, we carried out an assessment on the situation on service training in Cambodia, and consulted many teachers and teacher educators throughout the country, and shared the results of this assessment also with the education community through the education sector working group. And currently we are also in our current program design, we are also involving teachers to make sure that the program is relevant. But more importantly, we are not only doing those involvement ourselves, but we are also supporting the government, the Ministry of Education, in doing those consultations. So, for example, when we work with school directors, we encourage them to involve teachers in the development of a school development plan. When we work with district offices of education or provincial offices of education, we encourage them to involve teachers in the development of their education strategies and annual operating plans and budgets. So we systemically encourage the Ministry of Education at all levels with whom we work to involve teachers in education planning and budgeting.
Thank you. But it seems like, same for the answer. But I don't hear that something relating to what should be the MEP and play the role according to this. Can you please elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I think NEP is a member of the education sector working group, for instance, and the role of NEP is to make sure the voice of CSO and NGOs, national and international, working in the country are heard and can be heard in the consultative workshops or consultative meetings when it comes to development of program and policies. And I mean, I think NEP is well acknowledged as a key partner. So that's the vision of UNESCO.
So, no any addition to that?
But I think that this monthly talk show is a good opportunity to facilitate the dialogue, and I very much welcome the participation of the group Kanha, Nep Cambodia. Thank you very much. And maybe even online, teachers can participate. And on top of that, NEP, I think, has a role in encouraging its members to involve teachers in their education program.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Onno, for highlighting all this. Yeah, let me take this opportunity to pick up one question from the audience before we continue our question. So, Salons is the nickname perhaps. He's asking like, how to ensure the policy, how to ensure that policy is up to date in terms of the world education standard. So anyone of you would like to respond? Let me repeat the question again. How to ensure that the policy is up to date in terms of the world education standard? Maybe Bong Penglong, would you like to intervene on this question? How the government to make sure that the policy is up to date, if according to the world education standard? Just brief.
I try to answer to this question. In order to ensure the policy, our policy up to date to the world education,